Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Here we go. 180!
They're running it. Switch.
11. Switch, come on, switch that.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
57 Mike.
From the 31, Garoppolo. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Here we go.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 47.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check 13.
21. Here we go. Get hot.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 26.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Nice hit, boy.
Here we go. 180!
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo got his man. That's Harry. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the Bengals 7-yard line.
He'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Check it, go.
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hey, high 7.
Mike's 57 is Mike. Wild Bill. Hey, check Mike.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Dawson Knox, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Switch.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
You can't be free.
2nd and 9 now. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
He'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. He's going to fire one, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Leonard Fournette. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Bound to lose one. 56.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw here. He's able to find Hawkins. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 35.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 35-yard line. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there, break it, and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll look to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here we go, here we go,
Buffalo
here we go.
offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
That's what I do.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
26 Mike. Check that out.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 33. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ballgame. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Lock. Slam.
Garoppolo. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Garoppolo again. He finds Coleman. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Catch is made by Harry. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Bills passing game, getting him down the field. They've got another first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now Garoppolo. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Bills 21, Bengals 3. Greg Zerline set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Fournette running out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. He's coming.
A shotgun give to Fournette. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
56. Mike's 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
56 is the Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time.
He'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Watch the twist.
12, fellas. Here we go.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What do you need?
You better break. I'm letting you know right now. You better break. Shoot. Slam. Check.
21.
Garoppolo on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop.
11. Hey, seam 6.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. That's Harry. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 28. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Garoppolo now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Throw left side complete to Harry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it'll be 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
56 is the mic.
Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 34.
21, 21. Hey, Echo.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Williams. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
No gain on the play. It's now 3rd down and 1.
Here we go, here we go. 180, 21, 21. Man up, D, man up, D.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Now Fournette. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 38-yard line. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 10. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Auden Tate, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Garoppolo now into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here the 32. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
At the 26-yard line.
Again, it's Fournette. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's got his man. This is Tate. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
This Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
55. Stop your whining.
Back to throw here. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Leonard Fournette, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the score Bills 31, Bengals 17.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
This is Coleman. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Shift. Hatchet. Joker. Check 52. 21.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And now running right through him. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Here we go. 180. 1 Omaha. Here we go. 11. 26 Mike. Here we go. Hey, Delta. 26 Mike. Let's go.
Now on 2nd and 16. Garoppolo. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have 1 right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When we talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
The Bills on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 16.
65.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Right there.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike 54. Watch QB drop. Hey, watch that. Check Mike.
2nd and 9 now. This is complete to Hawkins. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Hey, watch that.
They'll look to throw here. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 45-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He completes it to Tate. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
At the 3-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. As his guys are back within a single score. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
And another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10.
Kill. Jim.
22 jet bomber.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 180.
It's just me and you.
1 Omaha.
Check.
Shoot.
On third down, here's Coleman. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe. Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it? Yep. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10.
Bravo!
Garoppolo to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again. Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 24-yard line.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
65. 11. General West.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week. Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right? The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Here we go. White. Check. Sponge.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Coleman. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Get him, boy.
A 3-yard pickup brings up
Here we go.
Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit, they were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin. And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did. So for the Bills, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.